I'm here in Denver, Colorado at this super cool property that I think you guys are gonna like. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I am absolutely obsessed with house hacking. That is exactly how I started my real estate investing journey. Now, some people who live in super expensive markets like Denver, Austin, San Francisco get super discouraged about the high cost of living here. And so they think that they'll never, ever be able to buy a house. But that's where house hacking comes in. With house hacking, you can buy a property for a low down payment so you can get into some of these more expensive markets with a lot less money. And then you can rent out portions of your home to cover your living costs. So I'm here with my friend Mike, who is a super successful real estate investor in Denver, Colorado. He actually used to be in the finance industry, was a W-2 employee for a long time, and now he invests in real estate and has a few just really solid properties here in Denver that cash flow plenty and allow him to live here for free. Like, this store is pretty incredible. It's like next level house hacking. But let's talk to Mike about how he even found this property.
So the property was actually off market, and a friend of mine who was a new realtor, she sent it to me for me to check out and run the numbers for one of her investor clients. And as I was helping her out, I actually realized this might be a great property for myself. So we went to check it out. I like this property because there's actually optionality as far as how it was set up. It's technically a triplex, but I saw a great opportunity to add a fourth unit, and that's what made the numbers make sense. Yeah, it definitely did not look like this. I basically did, 3 large remodels and 1 light remodel just to get this place up to par. I bought the property for $900,000 off market. And because it was off market, I had to cover my realtor's commission. So I'd probably say I was all in maybe $915,000.
So you know anything about house hacking, it's usually a better idea to actually have more units than less units. So if you can, a triplex or a fourplex is usually a little bit better than a single family home or a duplex is. However, they can be super hard to find, and sometimes you gotta get a little bit more creative. So let's see what Mike actually did with this property to make the numbers work.
So over time, the past 3 years, I've done, again, those 3 major remodels. Each one was about $25,000 to $50,000. So I'm probably between the 4 units in about $150,000 to $200,000 of rehab. Now I say this property is safely worth 1.2, 1.3 million.
Now the cool thing about this property though is that it didn't look like this, like super beautiful and modern the way it does now. Let's see what this place used to look like. So definitely not a cheap property and not a cheap remodel. As you can see, so much freaking work was done to get it to where it is today. But with these properties that are a lot more expensive, how do you even get the numbers to work? Like, is this property actually covering its mortgage? Is it cash flowing? What's the ROI?
So as far as my cash flow goes, my cash on cash return is probably 15 to 20%. Tough to say with all the remodels I've done over time. And if we're talking about cash flow between the 4 units or the 3 units that are currently occupied and rented outside of the unit that I occupy, the Airbnb makes about $4,000 a month. The long-term unit that's below the Airbnb brings in $1,900 a month, and the other long-term unit that's below my unit, it's a 3-bed, 1-bath. That one brings in about $2,700 a month on a long-term lease. That puts us at about $8,600 per month as far as cash flow. So the total cash flow of the property is about $8,600, and I'd say total expenses are about $4,500, which gives us a net cash flow per month of $4,100, which does not count the unit that I currently occupy.
Don't forget, if you like this kind of video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and the little bell notification button. It helps my channel, and it also lets me know if you like these sorts of videos or not, so I know to make more of them or not to make them at all. But the cool thing about house hacks is that you want to run your numbers for when you're actually living there, but also when you move out. With house hacks, a lot of the time, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna stay there and live there forever, but it's a great way to get into a property and then convert it into a full-time, strictly investment property. So I'm so curious to know what the numbers actually look like when he moves out of the property.
Yeah, so just to recap the numbers, what I'm living here, it's about $4,000 a month in net cash flow, which is almost $50,000 per year. Me living here in this 4th unit, living for free, house hacking. I'd say it's definitely a big house hack on steroids right now. So once I move out of the property and I rent this unit out, my net cash flow will actually be about $6,000 a month, which is $72,000 per year of cash flow on just this one complex.
So the numbers on it are pretty darn good, but still you're putting out so much money. It's like nerve-wracking, right? So I wonder what made Mike actually comfortable going forward with the deal?
Yeah, that's a really great question. I would say I was never really comfortable, honestly. Because I had the additional unit that I could add and create a fourth unit, that helped boost the cash flow. And that really, what made me feel comfortable was the fact that I could add that fourth unit, increase cash flow, and make the numbers really make sense for me. And personally, I wanted to move to a nicer neighborhood, have a bigger place, have a home office. So there's a lot of personal aspects that went into buying this property as well.
Okay, so now we know all the numbers, but everyone had to get started somewhere. So let's hear about how he actually got started investing in real estate and how he's now at this point where he's house hacking $1 million properties.
So I got started when I just wanted to own a property, and I just bought a large house that had a lot of bedrooms so my friends could move in and help pay the mortgage. At the time, I had no idea I was house hacking. Someone turned me on to Bigger Pockets. This was back in 2015, and from there, I guess the rest was history. The best advice I can give is just get started. A lot of people who are much smarter than I am, they always say, if you're not making mistakes and you're not playing the game, you're not making progress. So get started, obviously make educated decisions, do your homework, but don't get into that analysis paralysis headspace. Just do something. You're going to learn from that deal. You're going to get an MBA in real estate. You're going to figure out what you like, what you don't like, and you're better able to advance and move faster and get more comfortable doing bigger deals like this.
And so you guys know I love Airbnbs. So let's actually go check out Mike's Airbnb. It's a 1-bedroom unit and it's super cute and just a cool way to house hack. I think with house hacking, a lot of people get stuck on renting a unit out long term and the numbers don't work. So with house hacking, you can get creative. You can short-term rent out a unit instead, or medium-term rent out a unit to bring in more cash. And then your numbers might actually start to make sense. That's exactly what I did with my duplex in New Orleans.
All right, this is one of the remodels. This is an Airbnb unit I converted from a long-term rental to an Airbnb. Before the conversion, it was making about $1,500 a month, and I went ahead and invested $50,000 to making this an Airbnb. The reason I did that, because for that $50,000, I could increase cash flow about $2,000 a month. And if you run those numbers on that conversion, it was a 30% to 50% cash on cash return on that investment. So this was a no-brainer.
So as you can see, there are so many ways to invest in real estate that don't involve you putting 20% down on a property. And if you want to learn more about how I house hacked my duplex, make sure to watch this video right here.